What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt Clown Emoji, and today I will be answering the question, is Jayson Tatum an industry plant? In addition to that, I will also be having Poker Perry join us on the pod today. Great interview with him. So looking forward for y'all to see that. Who's down to clown?
That's a clown question, bro.
So is Jayson Tatum an industry plant? Obviously, the Boston Celtics just won an NBA championship, number 18, which I'm pissed about because I'm a Lakers fan, and now they have the most championships. One more than the Lakers. They always seem to one-up us. Here we are. And Finals MVP, Jayson Tatum, kind of made a mockery of himself last night. Wait, am I reading that right? Jayson Tatum did not win Finals MVP. Pardon my French. It was actually Jaylen Brown who won the Finals MVP and created just an incredible media landscape for the next year where we can have Tatum Brown debates. And you, even if you know in your heart Tatum's better, you're not going to be able to win the Tatum is better than Brown debate because Brown won what? Eastern Conference Finals MVP, now Finals MVP. He's the best player. He's more clutch. That's actually a take I got from my dad. I asked him, he's like, yeah, I think Tatum's a better player, but I think Brown is more clutch, which is an awesome, awesome take. Tatum's going to carry you for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, you want Jaylen Brown taking that final shot. So yeah, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, although how humble am I really? In my humble opinion, Jaylen Brown is a better player, and I may be saying that to rile people up, but I also think I believe it. But as far as Jayson Tatum being an industry plant, if you did not see any of the celebration, Tatum made two, and some would debate three different celebratory moves that have already been coined by someone else. He went, "We did it! We did it!" which is a direct copy, not a direct copy, but which is clearly pulling from Kevin Garnett's famous, post game speech after he won a championship. Anything's possible, anything's possible. So Tatum clearly was, taken from KG on that one. And I talk a little bit about Poker Perry with this. He says, I'm okay with him doing one, but then Tatum went on to do another one. He's at the, looked like they were in a club, celebrating, drinking champagne and whatnot. Tatum asked the crowd, he said, somebody asked me what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know. If you've never seen the Grammys, that's a Kanye West quote. The third thing that makes him seem like an industry plant was his photo with Deuce Tatum. That one's a stretch. People are trying to say he copied Kobe's iconic photo where he's wearing that dope ass jacket and holding the trophy like a baby. Completely different photo. So I'm not gonna make fun of Tatum for that one. I think people are exaggerating to say he's copying Kobe on that one, but he definitely copied Kevin Garnett and he definitely copied Kanye West. And yeah, the industry plan idea, I saw it on a comment on social media and thought it was hilarious. It's like, I think Jayson Tatum is the first industry plant in pro sports. Although, if I asked my philosophical roommate from back when I lived in Miami for a little bit, he would tell me that all sports are staged, which would make this show a little bit more depressing for me because now I'm doing a WWE show. Not to make fun of WWE fans, it can be entertaining, but I prefer to think it's real, not scripted. But yeah, Celtics are champions, and I would have had Nemo on the show this week for him to tell everyone he told you so because he's been on this for a while. He knew the Celtics were going to do this, win it. But I told Nemo, let's do a Nemo and the Clownfish. Then you get the full show victory lap, and I'm sure he's partying out there in LA to celebrate his Celtics win. Although he should probably stay away from the Lakers fans when he's doing that celebrating. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's the NBA Finals. Celtics are champions. We won't get another game for months. So now we're in the dog days of summer with baseball, but we still do have another sport going on with playoffs. We have the NHL, we have the Stanley Cup final here, and the hockey question for y'all this week is, can the Oilers make history? My answer to that is no, they cannot make history. And that's not because I think they won't be able to come back from a 3-0 deficit. I actually think they can. I have some faith in them. I think they have the best player in the league, which again I talk about with Poker Perry. But no, they can't make history because it's already been done before. 4 times in NHL history has a team come back from a 3-0 deficit to go on to win the series, but only once has it been done in the Stanley Cup final. The 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs did it coming back from 3-0. So can they make history? Technically, no. Do they have a shot at it? Absolutely. They've been playing great. Connor McDavid has 8 goals in his last 2 games. That has never been done. No one has ever had 8 goals in a 2-game stretch in Stanley Cup Finals history. Not even Wayne Gretzky. Not even Wayne Gretzky. So McDavid could be on his way to being a GOAT and making an incredible comeback in this series, winning 4 straight games. That would move him even higher, and he'd be pretty close to Gretzky, early in his career. So that would be insane. I'm rooting for the Oilers. Big fan of their fans again, or their fan. But yeah, let's see them kind of make history and become the second team to come back from 3-0. I hope it happens. Another thing I hope happens is Joey Chestnut competing in the 4th of July hot dog eating competition this summer. Apparently, that's not going to happen. So I have to ask, why is Joey Chestnut banned? Now, to start out, I know this is a sports podcast. Personally, I don't know if I think eating is a sport. But I had this debate in middle school with some friends where they're saying dance is a sport. I'm like, how is dance a sport? It's not. But they'd be like, well, we do competitions and there's winners and losers. So I think technically you could call anything a sport if there's competition involved. But obviously, we probably got to draw the line at like chess. Like, that's a game. Is it really a sport? I mean, maybe a mental sport. So, personally, I don't think eating is a sport. If it was, I would be an Olympian. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. But other people think hot dog eating is a sport, so I'll throw it in the show, something interesting. But Joey Chestnut has been banned by Major League Eating from the contest on the 4th, which he is a 16-time champion in. And apparently, the banning stemmed from a brand deal that Joey Chestnut did with a different hot dog company. Apparently, he's only allowed to represent Nathan's, and representing someone else was breaking his contract. I think he did a sponsorship deal with Impossible Meats. So, on PMT, Big Cat was saying he feels betrayed. I kind of feel betrayed too, because you're supposed to be the king of hot dogs, the glizzy gobbler, and you're out here eating Impossible Meat. So I don't know. I did Major League Eating do the right thing? Probably not, because how many viewers are they going to lose? I don't know if Kobayashi's competing. He's a pretty popular competitive eater as well. But yeah, I don't know. I would personally like to see Joey in the contest because he's the GOAT. But I don't necessarily disagree with him. When you go sponsor Impossible Meats, why would Nathan's uh, you know why would Nathan's want to keep you in the contest? But hopefully he's back and we get to watch him on the 4th. What isn't back yet, but I hope is back soon, is the NFL. So my question next is, can we talk NFL now? Yes, we can, because this is a podcast, and talking baseball can be fun, but I'm not there yet, and I need to learn more. Despite having usually 10 of them as my goosebump moments of the week as we get into summer here, I would much rather talk NFL off season, even though preseason is still pretty far away. So on the NFL, I got a couple topics here. First question would be, why did Rodgers and Reddick skip camp? So Aaron Rodgers and Hassan Reddick both got fined for missing a mandatory mini camp for the New York Jets. Apparently, Hassan Reddick is holding out for more money, which I respect that. Get paid, get yours. Rodgers, on the other hand, was on vacation, I believe. Some people were speculating maybe a darkness retreat, ayahuasca retreat, whatever it was. Sounds like Rodgers didn't clear it with the team first. Um, and yeah, like I talk about with Poker Perry, maybe Rodgers isn't as focused as he should be. He almost ran for vice president this offseason. So maybe Rodgers needs to get his ish together a little bit. But also the Jets screwed up here by they made it a story. All Robert Saleh had to do was lie and be like, yeah, Rodgers is not here, but don't worry, it's an excused, pre-excused absence. We knew about this beforehand, but as soon as he said, "Yep, it was unexcused," it became a story out of nothing. But yeah, Rodgers, get back on the field. Reddick, I would tell you to get back on the field, but honestly, get your bag first. Do that. Someone who just had to pay a bag was the Falcons. The Falcons have been fined $250,000 for tampering, through their acquisition of Kirk Cousins. I listened to a little Mike Florio on this, and he's saying even before, you know, Kirk made the Freudian slip in the introductory press conference where he revealed some details that made it very obvious tampering was involved. He said, "How are you gonna sign and pay a guy $100 million guaranteed dollars when you haven't seen him play aside from some social media video of him throwing a ball on a tennis court?" So clearly, they knew a little more on Kirk Cousins than they would have known had they waited to go, in the legal tampering period. But they, slap on the wrist. 250K is nothing for $1 billion organization. So yeah, it was definitely worth it if you're the Falcons. So non story, honestly. Kirk Cousins isn't going anywhere until Michael Penix shows up and people realize who the real QB is. Maybe that should be a take I should get on. Put Mr. Penix Jr. above Kirk on the depth chart. That's another discourse I would love to see. I just love chaos. Seeing like on the Jaylen Brown Tatum thing. Tatum's been their best player for so long, and now Brown wins two, back-to-back MVPs and back-to-back series, and we get this discourse of, hey, your best player is not your best player, and you're gonna have, I did ask Nemo. He said I think Jaylen Brown's our best player, but I wouldn't be surprised if that answer changed a couple days from now. We'd have to look more into the stats, but as my dad said, Brown is clutch. I'm talking about NBA, but I was supposed to be talking about NFL. And we'll talk Isaiah Buggs. I don't know if you remember our friend Isaiah. He was recently investigated for animal cruelty, perhaps some Michael Vick, dog fights in the ring going on. But Isaiah Buggs was recently arrested for domestic violence and burglary. Kind of seems like he might have did the animal cruelty now that I know he's just been arrested for two more charges. But as his agent said, maybe this is just a continuation. Maybe this is part of the calculated attack on Isaiah Buggs' hookah shop. That's probably it. It's probably more fake news. Free my man Isaiah. He didn't do nothing. They just want to take his hookah bar down. Man, the Chiefs are just assembling the longest yard roster. They're as much as Patrick Mahomes is out here setting records every year. The rest of the team this offseason might be on track to set the record for most convicts on a team. And then should be no, I'm not going to call Harrison Butker a convict because I believe in free speech. So say what you want, Harrison, but we will roast you for it. So yeah, that's what I got on the NFL, and I for what's the opposite of lighthearted for a heavy-hearted next question, I don't have a segue, so I'll just ask it. Why do we gotta lose the great ones? So unfortunately, Jerry West recently passed away, and yesterday Willie Mays passed away. So first and foremost, thoughts and prayers to friends, family, anyone who knew them, of course, and two of the greats, Jerry West, the logo, and Willie Mays, in my opinion, one of the greatest players in MLB history, maybe the greatest all-around player out in center field. But I'll try to make light of this. I guess another loss, big loss we had was Jake Marsh. Jake Marsh didn't die or anything, but he's no longer going to be on Pardon My Take. One of my favorite, barstool personalities. But you got to respect Jake for what he's doing. He's going to go forward with his broadcasting career. He's already had tons of jobs, so I'm assuming this is in connection to something else. So I'm excited to hear more Jake Marsh during sports broadcasts. But sad he won't be on the podcast, the Pardon My Take podcast, as the voice of reason anymore. But back to the people who actually passed away. Jake is totally fine. He's actually, doing better in life after leaving Pardon My Take. But trying to make this less heavy-hearted, more lighthearted. Jerry West, people were saying he died just in time because he didn't want to see the Celtics win another championship. They were up 3-0 and then he died. So maybe he did that because he was just sick of watching the Celtics win championships. When he passed away, the Lakers and Celtics were tied. So, West he had the right timing there. And speaking of timing, who else but Nick Castellanos would hit a walk-off home run on the day Willie Mays died? This is a very common trope, meme, whatever you want to call it, in today's baseball world, that Nick Castellanos always hits home runs or big hits at the most unfortunate times. And if you're unaware of this phenomenon, I do want to break it down for you. I know there's people who might not know much about baseball, but I got to give you the Nick Castellanos breakdown because he always finds the perfectly wrong time to do something right. So let's go through. There's a lot. So Castellanos infamously homered during an on-air apology by Reds play-by-play broadcaster Tom Brenneman, who was caught on a hot mic saying a homophobic slur and subsequently resigned. That's I pride myself as a man of faith. As there is a deep drive in the left field by Castellanos, it'll be a home run. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. That's the famous call from Tom Brenneman. But that's not the only bad thing that Castellanos homered during. He also did it a second time in 2021 when he homered while the Royals broadcast was eulogizing a World War II veteran who had died at age 97 2 days earlier. Come on, Nick. Okay, there's more. Don't worry. Castellanos came through with his first hit in a Phillies uniform during Blue Jays spring training broadcast, while their broadcast was discussing pitching coach Pete Walker's apology for a DUI arrest. As soon as the discussion ended, Castellanos knocked a bloop single into right field. That one's kind of borderline, but wait, there's more. Castellanos didn't let Memorial Day pass without hitting a home run in 2022. While homering on Memorial Day is not notable in and of itself, Castellanos hit his blast just as Phillies broadcaster Tom McCarthy was paying tribute to fallen service members. By the way, I didn't write this. I'm reading this from an article and I forgot the link, so I'm not going to give credit, and I don't think anyone's going to call me on it. So who cares? But a couple more. That there was a moment that happened in Game 3 of the NLDS when Castellanos hit his second home run of the night, whilst TBS broadcaster Brian Anderson was sending well wishes to Charlie Manuel, who suffered a stroke in September. And to go along with that, we had Nick Castellanos hitting, I think, a walk-off dinger a week or two ago. I don't know if it was on the day of OJ's death, but, it was within a day or two. Again, that one's probably borderline. But then tonight, another obvious one occurred, not 1 hour after Willie Mays, after the Giants announced that Willie Mays had passed away. Nick Castellanos hit a walk-off ground rule double. So honestly, maybe we should blame Willie Mays passing on Nick Castellanos. Obviously, that's the meme here. But yeah, it's sad to see Willie Mays go. I'll say it. I'll call him the greatest all-around player in baseball history. 660 home runs, 300 average for his career, and arguably the greatest catch in baseball history. The over-the-shoulder catch, just simply nicknamed the catch, I think it was the New York Giants Polo Grounds, which has a center field of like 480 feet. So I think he was at maybe 440 feet when he caught this ball in the 1954 World Series, which he did go on to win. So rest in peace to one of the GOATs, one of the greatest ball players, and probably even a better person, which is saying a lot. So rest in peace to Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. Now let's go to a lighter note, and this is actually another loss. Charles Barkley. Again, Charles Barkley did not pass away, but Charles Barkley is reportedly retiring after the next year of broadcasting with TNT. I hope it's not true. I hope he changes his mind because Charles is one of the funniest, most entertaining analysts in sports media. And it's not close. There's no one who can replicate what he does, with just the wit and the lack of preparedness that leads to hilarious moments in inside the NBA on TNT, of course. One of the notable things was his ongoing beef with San Antonio women, the big old women in San Antonio, as he would say. So I thought it would be appropriate to make this week's first Your Interruption would be a clip with Charles Barkley. This one is from Inside the NBA on TNT. And, with all the beef with San Antonio, I thought it would be appropriate to put in his apology to the women of San Antonio. So please don't retire, Chuck, but here's first Your Interruption with Charles Barkley.
Shout out to Kenny in New York. Baron Davis is here. Who do you have to apologize to?
I want to apologize to the women of San Antonio. Because, Ernie,
What happened? What happened to prompt this? This has been going on for a good 12 years.
I had churros last night. I see what all the excitement is about. I had churros last night.
Talk to him, Tuck. Talk to him. What was they like?
Man, I was eating churros last night. Them damn thing good, Ernie. Them churros good. I see why they got all the big old women down in San Diego. Man, them churros are the bomb.
Don't break the set.
Churro party. I'm telling y'all, man. Hey, I got to apologize. Them churros.
Have some ice cream with those churros.
I had vanilla ice cream.
Oh, look at you.
Nice.
Oh man. Yeah.
I had churros and vanilla ice cream.
So now you can
I washed it down with a Diet Coke.
now you can understand the
I
infatuation.
understand what's going on down in San Antonio.
All right, so
Churros irresistible.
Churro Chuck, they call him. Yeah, obviously I don't want to fat shame anyone, make fun of the big old women of San Antonio, but I'm fat too, so I'm allowed to do it. I think that's probably why Chuck has gotten away with it every time. So all respect to the women in San Antonio, because I'm the same way. I'm a big old man in Wisconsin. Weird as hell. But who's not weird as hell? He's actually chill as fuck. That's $1 in the swear jar. But he's chill AF. So let's get to Poker Perry. Talk some ball with him. Great interview with Poker Perry. Thanks for pulling up, brother. Now pulling back up to the pod is a good friend of mine. It is Poker Perry. Perry, thank you so much for coming back on the show. Appreciate it.
Feels good to be back. I'm now a reoccurring guest. Big deal.
Yeah, recurring guest. I was talking to my brother John. I need like a different name for it. Every time I like have a phrase, I don't know, I steal it from part of my take. So, but recurring guests, I don't know. I got to think about something for that. But yeah, first things first. How was Bonnaroo? And I guess a follow-up question would be, what is Bonnaroo? Because I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I guess to start, it's obviously one of the major music festivals. It gives off like a Woodstock type of vibe. Um, compared to
Woodstock
like,
type vibe?
oh yeah,
Damn.
compared to like a Coachella, which is an LA Hollywood kind of type of a deal. Um, Bonnaroo is where you pretty much go out in the middle of nowhere, camp for 4 days, listen to music, and then it's a lot of jam bands, feel good music,
Dang.
a lot of people smoking dope and having a good time. But
That's
yeah, it was good.
awesome.
Saw a lot of music, didn't sleep much. It was like 95 degrees the whole weekend, so got my ass sunburnt. Yeah, saw a lot of DJs. It was a ton of fun. It's only about an hour south of Nashville, so it's
Okay.
pretty easy
Hell yeah.
to go.
That sounds pretty fun. So are they doing the concert just like right in the middle of the forest, or like how are they? Is it a separate venue? Is it just right next to where everyone's camping kind of thing, or?
Yeah, so there's pretty much they have really corny names for it. It's called Outeroo and Centeroo. It's pretty much you go through like security with your car. You get to the outside of the border or like the outside lands, and that's where you can just set up camp in the middle of the lots with everybody else. And then they have a few stages out there, but those stages are dope because you don't have to go through like security to get to. So you can
Okay.
just kind of like bring your own beer, chill out, sit on a cooler, listen to music, do whatever. And then the main Centeroo with the main big stages, which has shows from your more classic times like 2 p.m. to midnight, uh,
Sure.
are kind of like your big headliner type of people.
Yeah, that
Then
sounds
there's also just
awesome.
people pulling up, playing music by themselves and in the middle of the yard and the
Yeah, you
campground.
just got that built-in tailgate area, so you don't got to spend $8 on a beer. You can bring the whole
Exactly.
pack. Hell yes. Who was
Exactly.
your
So
who was your favorite artist you saw perform?
yeah, I don't know if you know who Pretty Lights is. They played a
Pretty.
sunrise set from like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh
And that
wow.
one was my favorite just because when you get into those moments, you're like, whoa, life's not real type of vibe.
Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
was sweet.
3 a.m. to
It's like
6
electronic music, but
6 a.m.
it's very, I don't know, it's very feel good, wubsy. Um,
But
I
kind
don't
of closer to
know,
house almost, or not really?
maybe a little bass. Speaking of house, Chris Lake was there the first night, and that one was awesome. Which is just really,
Yeah.
really basic house music, just that was a ton of fun. So yeah, it was a good
Well,
weekend.
hey man, that's awesome. I gotta go check out Pretty Lights. I got spelled how it sounds.
Yeah, he's been around for a
Okay. So
while.
okay. I'm just
Um,
not, you're the music expert, so
yeah, he's I've he went on like a hiatus for a while, but he's kind of back. But he plays
He's
around
back.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely would be a spot for you if you can embrace the heat for a few days. It's a ton of fun. Not much sleeping going on, but
Yeah. Hey, it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. But speaking of not much sleeping going on, I'm sure the Boston Celtics have not slept in days. We just reached the conclusion of the NBA Finals. The Celtics win in five. So I wanted to talk some finals with you, obviously. Let's start here with the finals MVP. Do you think Jaylen Brown is better than Jayson Tatum? Because it's getting interesting here, the discourse.
no, I don't think he's better than him, but I
Oh,
like the
okay.
discourse because I think it's really funny.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, every time, yeah, I don't know. Jaylen Brown's good. They have such an interesting dynamic where both of them, you just have like two players that can both kind of go off.
Hmm.
I thought it was really funny when Tatum was like, "Well, I'm okay. I'm okay not shooting the ball that much," and then he was like leading the team in shots and everything. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I would say Tatum. I still would if I was to like draft a team and take someone, I would take Tatum over Brown, but I think Brown deserved it in that series at least.
Sure.
In the series
Fair
before.
enough.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
but you still think
good for
Tatum's
them.
Tatum's a better player overall.
Yeah, I would still take Tatum.
All right.
Maybe that goes back to a lot of our old the Buck series in the past 2-3 years, and I feel like Tatum always destroyed us more than Brown did. I
Sure.
think that's why I think that.
Sure. Well, hey, speaking of the Bucks, as a Bucks fan, are you happy for Drew Holiday, who just got his second ring?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. The Bucks thing is so strange. I feel like that's just like a media thing. Um, we were not the Bucks trades just can't work out for everybody. We can't have that narrative, but I think it honestly did. Um, we didn't have to play them. They didn't have to play us, even though we should have had to. We weren't going to win a series with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton when Giannis was hurt. So it didn't really matter. Everyone being like the Bucks gave him a series. We didn't trade Drew Holiday to the Celtics. They went
Yeah,
and got him.
that's
We
true.
made him available.
Yeah.
Like that. Kudos to them. Drew still like played a massive part in our championship. Who
Mhm.
knows if that'll be the only one we ever get. So you have to appreciate that. And yeah, happy for Drew. Really good guy. Always was great.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was funny hearing people like say like how could the Bucks do this? How could they get rid of Drew Holiday? But yeah, to your point, first of all, they traded him to the West and they got Damian Lillard in return. So it's not like they gave up Holiday for a bunch of scrubs, you know?
yeah, it's just like that argument just makes absolutely no sense. Um,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. It was tough. We upgraded obviously, and so did the
Mhm.
Celtics eventually. But Drew was our second or third option. The Celtics, he didn't have to be that,
Yeah.
and it was a better place for him to play probably.
Right. Sure.
Obviously.
Okay, so but back to your number one player on the Celtics, Jayson Tatum. I don't know if there was a lot of stuff he went viral for on social media after the game. His celebration was facing a lot of backlash. Do you think Jayson Tatum kind of plagiarized some of those celebrations? I don't know if you got a chance to see any of that.
I saw it, and I think he was trying too hard. I think you get one. I think you could have done the like
You can
you could have
plagiarize
done
one,
the
but not two.
KG yell. I think I would have been okay with that, and then him just stopping,
Yeah.
not like half-assed, kind of copying it, but not doing it the exact same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know. It
Yeah, it's
felt
like
too much.
just copied Kevin Garnett. You got to go quote Kanye too.
Yeah. There
I
was
don't
one
know.
more. Oh, they were making fun out of like the Kobe thing, but I feel like they always do that.
I don't think I think the Kobe one is a little exaggerated. People are like worried before the game. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Tatum's about to recreate, the most iconic Kobe picture." He did it a little different. His son Deuce was in it. So I think that one is a little exaggerated, but
Yeah, but
it-
to my point, I think you recreate one and then go make
yeah.
your own. But I guess
Yeah.
the Deuce one was a good moment, though, I
That
guess.
that
But
yeah, that was a good moment. I don't yeah, like I said, the people claiming that he stole Kobe's pose is that I don't think that's even really that close.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, let's wrap up on the NBA Finals, which was a boring one, not a whole lot to talk about, I guess. You think the Celtics are going to be the early favorite for next year's NBA Finals as well?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
Why not? I mean they'll keep their entire team, right? As far as
Hmm.
at least their top five guys go, their starting lineup will be there.
Hmm.
I don't know about if anybody's leaving off the bench, but yeah, I mean, would they lose 3 games that entire playoffs?
Yeah,
I think it was a
pretty
little bit of an
pretty
eye opener
dominant.
for everybody else. It was just kind of unfortunate. I mean, you play who's in front of you, but the Bucks, a healthy Bucks team, like maybe if the Heat had Jimmy Butler, they could have gotten like another game.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
healthy Bucks team was probably the only team that would have stood a chance.
yeah.
And then the Nuggets outside of the West were probably the only team. And then they lost. So like you play who's in front of you. Um, and they beat Luca and Kyrie. So credit to them. But yeah, they'll be the favorites again next year.
But you do think it was a little Mickey Mouse, is what you're saying?
Everything's a little Mickey Mouse. Um,
That's a good quote.
it was a little bit too easy for him.
Sure.
But
No, I get what you're saying, but yeah, I agree with you. They got probably the most complete roster, so why shouldn't they be favorites again next year?
mhm.
Um, But let's talk some hockey. This series actually is still going on. Surprisingly, after Florida took a 3-0 lead, now it's 3-2. We're going back to Edmonton for game 6, I believe. So let me start here with the Panthers, who obviously are known for their defense and their amazing goaltending. Do you think their goaltender, do you think Sergei Bobrovsky is the best player in the league, best player in the NHL?
When he's on, absolutely, but he's been put on the edge. He's been on the edge of his seat a little bit lately, and that's kind of scary for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs, like if a goalie can just take over a series, I mean, it's anybody's game. So it's
Yeah.
always interesting to see. But Bobrovsky's been doing it for a while. He's been doing it at the
Yeah.
top tier
Uh,
level. Best player, yeah. I mean, when he's on his game, you can make an argument. I'm a little concerned about him going into the next game giving up. I don't know. He's given up like 10 goals in the last 2 games.
yeah, it's crazy. And speaking of, a lot of those goals were scored obviously by Connor McDavid. I just asked you if Sergey is the best player in the league, but I'll ask you an even dumber question here. You think Connor McDavid's the GOAT? You think he's the greatest player to ever live in hockey?
He's the most skilled player to ever play the game. There's no denying that.
Better than the great
Um,
one? You think he's better
yeah, I mean
than
he's
Gretzky?
it's comparing generations, so it's really hard.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like a big believer that today's generation will always be better than like the last one. So I would say the same thing about like LeBron and Jordan. Like LeBron's probably a better player than Jordan ever was, but it's just like who was better in their time period.
sure.
Uh, so like
That
Connor
makes.
McDavid is by far better than Gretzky ever was. But
Ooh,
Gretzky was just absurdly dominant during his time. So in
yeah,
that instance, no. I mean Connor McDavid has to win a few cups,
yeah,
and have do it do it consistently for like another 6 or 7 years. But is he the most skilled player to ever play? Yeah, hands down.
hey,
I mean, McDavid probably you could make the argument he hasn't even caught like Crosby yet in terms of like a legacy or being
yeah. You
great.
need you need those rings. You need those cups, I guess, to really move in to that upper echelon of greats. To the great one, Gretzky. But I'll ask you this about the Oilers. Do you think they can pull off a miracle? I guess it's more of a miracle to do in the NBA. It's been done a couple times in hockey, but still would be pretty miraculous to come back 3-0, right? So, do you think they can do it?
Yeah, I think when you have like if you watch the last few games, like the last game at least was at 5 yesterday. Connor McDavid like single-handedly won that game. And
Hmm.
I think they won 5-3 and he had 4
Yeah.
points. Um, that's just like unheard of in the sport of hockey. Like
Yeah.
your best player is only on the ice for, a third of the game. It's not the NBA where you're playing
Oh, you're only playing 20 minutes?
95% of the minutes. Yeah, you're probably playing around a third. You're probably playing just above 20 minutes of the game. I'd have to look that
Okay.
how much you
Huh.
played yesterday. But
I didn't know that,
so
I guess.
for a player to be on the ice a third of the time and like single-handedly win games
Yeah.
is ridiculous. And like he's doing that. So I don't like, is it possible? Absolutely. If he continues to do it. Now also watching that game, that Oilers team looked extremely shaky, especially in like the third period. They looked tired, they looked shaky, they um look like the Panthers were doing what the Panthers are supposed to do. They're beating down on you, making you tired.
Hmm.
Uh so it's gonna be a tough game. If I had to guess, especially like maybe if this goes to 7, I would say the Panthers get that one. But it's going to be an interesting game going back to Edmonton because that place is going to be absurd, and at least the Oilers will have that to kind of spark them a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd be concerned about the rest of that team, um, especially Skinner, who's been facing a lot of shots as their goalie. So I
Sure.
would, I'm gonna still pick. My pick's gonna be Florida in 7,
Okay.
which is
All right.
dope because we'll get a sweet game 7 if the Oilers can win.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that I guess that was gonna be my next question. What do you think the Oilers do need to do to win this series in somewhat miraculous fashion? What do you think they need to
You're
do
gonna
in these
need
last two games?
you're gonna need to buckle down defensively and try to keep them low scoring because I don't think I think Florida's gonna beat down on you, and I think you're gonna have to sit back and try to block shots. It's gonna be a really defensive game for Edmonton when Connor McDavid is not on the ice.
Sure. A lot of fights, a lot
Mhm.
of lot of checking.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
trying to block in front of the net. That's what playoff hockey is sometimes, though.
Yeah. Should be a good game. I guess last question about hockey here, and then we can talk some other sports. Are you a fan of the Oilers fan?
Good question. Absolutely. The video of her talking about it was so funny.
Why did she feel the need to do that?
I don't know, just capitalizing on some sort
Fame?
of clout,
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess. Yeah.
That
Makes
was funny
sense.
though. Hey,
But yeah, you're a fan.
yeah.
I'm a fan
Believer in
too.
freedom. Express yourself the way you want to,
Yeah. Exactly.
especially when they need it most.
I'm with you there. So you got Panthers in seven, so could be one of the classic Stanley Cup finals. We will see. But yeah, let's talk some other sports. We had the US Open this weekend, so I was wondering, would you like to play a new segment, or would you like to do a new segment with me, presented by no one?
Let's do it.
All right, this new segment is called Will Rory Ever Win a Big One Again? I don't know how it's been, what, 12 years since he won a major? Something like that. It's been a while. Maybe 10.
I kind of, I kind of like rooting against Rory because I think it's really funny. Um, so I'm not completely against it. I feel like he will though. Like golf always gives you those pretty decent stories. So if I had to guess, I'd say he will, but I also think it would be kind of funny if he never does.
Yeah, it just feels like there's been a couple times where he's come close, and then the last four holes he misses a putt or two, and
Yeah, and it's like
Bryson
in
DeChambeau
golf.
comes from the bunker to end it.
I remember listening to a podcast, maybe it was Max Homa on PMT or something, and he was kind of saying it can be like a really lucky game if you're putting yourself in that position of being like top five. Like eventually the ball, like it's gonna roll right for you and you'll get one.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so I feel like eventually he will, but that was a hilarious finish.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I
Do
love
you
how
have
like the
a
tide completely turned on Bryson DeChambeau. Like if that was like 5 years, everybody would have been on Rory, and it just completely shifted.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a golfer? Do you have a guy, or are you kind of more of a, I don't know, I'm more of a casual dimplehead myself.
Yeah, I'm definitely a casual golf fan. I like rooting for Max. I like rooting for like a lot of the Americans. I like Morikawa a lot.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I liked Scotty at the beginning, and now it's just getting old.
Yeah, now it's like rooting for Patrick Mahomes. It's like,
Yeah, a
what are
little
we
bit,
doing?
which
Sure.
is fun. I know they're sending a lot of guys to the Olympics, which would be good. I think that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia versus US. Is that how they'll do it, you think? No, I don't think.
And for the,
I don't know. I'm
I have
just
no
thinking because
idea.
of the live. Maybe
Oh,
Saudi
that'd be
Arabia gets
funny.
all the live golfers. I don't know how that works. I'd have
Yeah, I
to
don't
look into
know.
that. Probably not. Probably not how it works. But yeah, that's probably enough golf talk from two casuals. Let's talk some more sports that were casuals in the WNBA. Did you happen to see Angel Reese's flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark recently?
Yeah, yeah, I did see it.
What'd you think? Do you think it was a flagrant? Do you think it was a dirty play?
I think it
What are
was
your
weak, but
thoughts?
I think most of the like flagrant ones would be weak, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think she probably meant to kind of hit her, kind of get a little bit more.
Hmm.
I don't think she probably meant to hurt her, but
Yeah.
give her a little bit. I think it's good for him. I'm a big believer in the beef. I think everybody makes it more than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Just let people have a rivalry. But I think it's really funny that like Angel Reese and Kaylin Clark. just like don't play the same position whatsoever. Like never really guard each other in games. And
Yep.
then like she just like chirps at her. Um, but I know
No,
that
that's
was
so
like
fun.
one of the most watched WNBA games of all time. So I guess what they're doing's working. I think
Yeah.
it's fun, honestly.
Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious. I saw like Dave Portnoy campaigning online for like this is a horrible foul. Angel Reese is a dirty player, all this and that. I'm like, at most it's a hard foul. And like you said, it should have really have been probably should have been a common foul. People are just making a bunch of it so they can fucking do what we're doing and talk about it on a podcast, I
Yeah,
guess.
I thought the more like interesting one was when that other the other girl on Angel
Kennedy
Reese,
Carter.
yeah, just like hip checked her.
Yeah. Yeah, that one
Um,
was pretty intentional to
because that
me.
was more of like a let her know type thing.
Yeah, at least Reese's was like a basketball.
Yeah,
She was
within a
going for the
play.
ball at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kennedy Carter is going for Caitlin Clark. But but yeah, I guess I got a few more questions for you. I know you got work tonight, probably got a event or venue to do whatnot at. So I guess we could finish with a couple more sports we got. Let's talk some Brewers. Do you think William Contreras can win the MVP?
That would be so sick. It'd be really
Right?
good for the Brewers. I mean the way he's playing right now, yeah. I'm also pretty casual when it comes to baseball, but what I do know is that um it's the hardest sport to like sustain an entire year of.
Mm.
Um, so we'll see. Can you keep it up? Can you keep it up a year? But the Brewers look good. Ton of fun. I was getting texts that they were playing in LA last night, so the time was late. It was like a late night game. I was getting
Yeah.
texts like 12:30 about their win last night. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, I mean I think it's possible.
It's a
The Brewers
crazy
have
one.
had,
Blake Perkins.
yeah, I love Perkins. The Brewers have had, I mean, we're not strangers to NL MVPs. We've had two in the last 20 years, I guess, 15
Yeah.
maybe. So it's
Mhm.
possible. I think so.
Yeah. I hope so. It'll be interesting to say, but that's a good point. It's a long season. How many times have we seen the Brewers be in first place at the All-Star break and then just sputter out and lose in the wild card round? But
Or
hopefully that
just be
won't
like
happen. Yeah.
the Brewers will be up 12 games, start to go poorly in like September, and then go into the playoffs looking like really shaky.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
have some pitcher that's unreal, like blow a lead. I'm
yeah.
getting really negative on the Brewers now.
Now this
They
this
look
year's
really
gonna be
good. It's
different.
been
This
really,
year's
really
gonna be
fun. Yeah,
different.
yeah. This one's
Knocking on
different.
some
It's been
wood.
really fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anytime you got a team that looks good, it's fun to watch.
Right. But speaking of this year being different, let's talk some soccer. Do you think USA is just as good, if not better than Brazil now? We did tie them. We tied them 1-1, right?
I think that's how it works, right? So we're either
So
just
we're
as good
just we're
or
just as good
better.
as Brazil. Yeah.
You might need to check the stats. I wonder if we got more shots off than they did. We definitely didn't because like
That's
11
that's a
6.
big part of it, I guess.
No, they looked really good though.
Hmm.
So that was fun. I think Brazil looked really, really. They came out really lackluster, like they weren't trying or like going 100%. But then towards like the second half, you kind of saw them kick it up a notch. Um, so I don't know. The U.S. national team going into Copa is going to be a ton of fun, and I hope we get if they make it out of their pool, which they should, they'll get well, they play Uruguay in their pool, who's like a
Mm.
top 10 country, 10 team
Yeah,
in the world. So
sure.
that'll be a really good game to watch. And if they make it out, they'll pretty much automatically or have a very, very good chance of playing Argentina or Brazil, who are like 1 and 3 in the world. So,
Powerhouses,
and that'll
yeah.
be in, a tournament style game. So
Yeah.
that'll be the biggest test that this generation of the U.S. national team has ever faced.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out. I think at least
Okay.
we're gonna find out.
Okay. But on Brazil, what's your beef with Vinicius Jr.? Because I think I saw you shit talking him on X. I think you literally just tweeted out like Vinicius sucks or something like that. What's your beef with him? I thought he was like really
Um,
good.
I actually kind of like him. What was funny is that So we had our right back, I think it's right. Yeah, right back, Serginho Dest tore his ACL not long ago. So they just put in a new guy named Joe Scally, who doesn't really have that many starts with the US team. And we were just joking around because he kind of like locked him down.
Hey,
So
let's go.
the memes were awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like pretty much like your standard white guy from New York. He plays in Bundesliga in Germany now,
Okay.
but he's like your average guy, and he kind of put the clamps on Vinny Jr. So we were just
Yeah.
chirping him for it.
Yeah. But so wait, Vinicius is probably still one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
He's still pretty
yeah. I
good.
mean, he's gonna. Is he gonna? I'm pretty sure he's gonna win the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, so he's that good. So he
Yeah, I'm
might be
pretty
the
sure
best.
I'm pretty sure he's like favored to win it. I could verify that. I think.
Oh.
I
So
think he's
he
on
so
Real Madrid. He
Vinicius
just got
Jr. for the
I think he
record
got the
does not
second
suck.
Champions League. Yeah, no, no. I mean, technically, is
Quite the
gonna win the award
opposite.
for the best in the world.
Sure, sure. Wow. All right. Well, speaking of best in the world, you're like setting me up for some great segues here, poker. But it's best player in the world is obviously probably Mbappe, right? I mean, it's not Vinicius Jr. He sucks, like you said. So do you think if we switch, continents here, do you think Mbappe, do you think he can win the Euros with France with a broken face, or was it a broken nose that happened?
Broken nose. I would be scared. I don't like the idea of a masked Mbappe out there.
You don't like that?
Kind of
It's pretty
scary to
scary.
me. And
Yeah.
I'm with you. I probably would say he's the best player in the world in terms
Hmm.
of who I would want on my team, and he's also going to Real Madrid, so that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
I
I mean,
needed
I
to
think
ask you that
France.
too. Is Real a super team?
Yeah, they are. I
Okay.
mean, like on paper, they're just one of the best teams like ever created at
Yeah,
this point. It's just
sure.
absurd. Um, I don't know. I kind of have hope that it just like won't turn out for them. Kind of like I don't when Katie went to the war. No, they won that year, I think.
The
Yeah,
Warriors definitely won when the KD joined. Yeah. I think they won
yeah.
two in a
No,
row
I just
that
didn't know
year.
if they like lost the first year and then won, but no, they won
No,
that
they
year.
lost the third year to Kawhi.
It's pretty comparable to that though.
It's pretty similar.
Um,
Yeah. Well, they have what?
except
They have
except
Vinicius
except the
Jr.
Warriors
too.
would have won, because the Warriors,
Yeah.
that was the 3-1 year,
Yeah.
and then Katie went to them, and then they
Yeah.
won. So it'd
Exactly.
be like
Exactly.
if the Warriors won the championship and Katie still went in a way.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just an absurd team on paper, and
Yeah.
France is also favored to win the Euros, and rightfully so.
Probably
So
favored to win the Olympics too.
yeah, I don't know about that one. I know there's rumors about Mbappe like playing in the Olympics as well.
Oh, he
So
might not play.
if that happens, yeah. Yeah, the Olympics gets weird with like who goes and who doesn't. Um,
Hmm.
because it's a lot of games.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess.
so yeah, they probably are. I don't know 100%.
Sure.
But the Euros are gonna be a ton of fun to watch, so and some good games are coming up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I need to get
Spain,
into that.
Italy
Who's your
game soon.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know. I was on the Czech Republic when they were playing Portugal like yesterday, but they ended up blowing that game. It was really sad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know you got to get out of here in a couple of minutes, but real quick, you got a Copa pick for me and a Euro pick? Just the countries,
Ooh,
just the winner.
Copa. I'll just take the US. Why not? Realistically,
USA.
I would probably take Argentina, but I'm gonna take the US.
Sure, yeah.
The Euros. I don't know. I was talking to Schleicher earlier today, and he was telling me he's on Germany, who've looked really good, but they had some candy ass uniforms, so it kind of brought me off of them.
That could affect it.
I'll go Spain on Euros.
All right. Hell yeah. All right. Well, last question I got for you is some football, some American football. Do you think the Jets should be worried about like the focus level of Aaron Rodgers? Because he skipped a mandatory minicamp. It was unexcused
Yeah, and they
absence,
fined him for it,
apparently.
which is weird, right? Because
50K, I
if they
think.
didn't fine him for it, Like in my head, it's like, couldn't you just make up that he was injured and then, something like that? Like tell the team, oh, he's not here. He's recovering.
Yeah, he definitely could have
I
just
don't know. The
said,
media
"Oh, it's
narrative
an
felt weird.
excuse."
It was
Yeah.
an excuse, which means they fined him. It's pretty
Yep.
much they looked at it and were like, we have to fine you, which I get because if it's like you're going to do something stupid, you're Aaron Rodgers, but like you have to hold people accountable or you can't like let a precedent be set that you can just miss.
Yeah, I
So I
looked
get
it
it.
up. I think Rogers was like on vacation or something. It's like you couldn't have scheduled your
Yeah. I
vacation a
don't
week
something like
earlier.
that.
Some stupid reason.
Honestly, like yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I love Aaron Rodgers. Like I'm a pretty big Aaron Rodgers like defender.
Yeah.
Um, not like I think it's weird, and I don't know. I like the guy, but you're playing out. I mean, he's over 40 now, right?
hmm
So he's
Yeah, I think he's
old, and
40.
he hasn't played in a year and a half, maybe. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Well, it's like not
I
even this.
I would be worried about it if I was a Jets fan.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like this isn't even the bad part. Like the bad part is earlier in the year he considered running for vice president. It's like, is he
Yeah,
really
I don't.
dialed in on this football
Oh,
thing?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I
That's
don't know.
interesting.
I think he's got like kind of that. Whenever you hear him talk, he kind of talks like football isn't everything. I
Because
play
ever
it
since
because
the
like
ayahuasca,
it
he's
is,
just
but it's not
so
everything.
philosophical. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
I don't know. I
interesting.
want my part of me wants my quarterback to be like, I just want to go die out there.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I'd be a little worried about it, I guess.
yeah. You'd rather him be Tom Brady, who he'll give up his
Yeah, I'd
marriage
rather
for a 9-8
yeah
season on the
give up
Buccaneers.
give up my supermodel wife
Yeah.
so I can go like I don't know
Get
like
murdered
nine
by
and
the Cowboys
seven.
in the playoffs or
Yeah.
whoever they lost to. Maybe it was I forget who, but yeah, man. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I guess I would say good luck at your event tonight. I'm assuming you got some sort of concert or whatnot. If you're
Yeah,
starting
we got a
work
little
this
like
late,
sponsorship thing. It's nothing crazy, but yeah,
but listen to some EDM, some house maybe.
that's usually the night. That's usually how they go.
Hell yeah. Well, I wish you good luck and have fun at that. But yeah, thanks so much, Poker Perry, for joining me again on the show. Would love to have you back on sometime and talk ball. But yeah, thanks for pulling up, brother.
Thanks for having me as always. Absolutely. We'll do it again.
Hell yeah, man. All right, I'll see you later, bro.
Peace.
Thank you again, Poker Perry, for pulling up to the show. I appreciate it, and looking forward to some more interviews in the future, and looking forward to attending a DJ set from you some point because I know you're spinning like you're spinning the block. I All right, let's forget I said that and remember that I said this is everyone's favorite moment of the week, the Goosebump moments of the week. We're gonna put pardon me, we're going to put Nick Castellanos at number 10. You bitch, Nick Castellanos. You killed Willie Mays. So not cool at all. But you are the number 10 moment of the week. I'll pay another $1 to say this. Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you, Nick Castellanos. That's $2.
He's allowed 3 straight hits. And now Castellanos. Swinging a fly ball down the right field line. On the run is Tatis. He can't get it. It's a fair ball. The Phillies will win the game here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Second and third, 2 outs.
Brujan
Number
has an
9,
opportunity
Vidal
to be the hero
Brujan
here in
walks
the
it
bottom of
off
the
for the
10th inning.
Marlins.
Gordon, the winning run at third. That is a base hit center field. In comes Gordon. Brujan's the hero. It's a Marlins win.
Number 8, second straight day,
Right
Otto
field.
Lopez walks
Base
it off
hit.
for Miami.
Burleson bobbles it. Anderson's coming home. And the Marlins walk it off again. It's a Marlins win.
The bottom of the 9th inning.
Number 7, Kyle Higashioka walk off. Higashioka walk
To
off.
left down the line, towards the pole, gone! Kyle
Pardon the
Higashioka
pronunciation.
walks it
I
off.
might have
Padres
butchered
win
it.
it 4-3. One away.
Number 6, Jackson Merrill walk-off home run. Back-to-back walk-offs for the Padres.
Drive right field towards the Petco porch, down the line, and gone! Second straight day the Padres have walked it off. This time it's the kid, Jackson Merrill, second home run of the day, wins it for the Friars, 5-4.
Jackson Merrill, his first career walk-off home run.
Foot in the door with a man.
Number 5, we got a walk-off double play for the Tampa Bay Rays.
At the plate.
Breaking ball hit up the middle, diving as walls. Glove flip to second one, throw to first, Rays win. Oh, what a way to end the ball game as the Rays on a spectacular double play. 6-4-3. Tanner Walls saves the day.
Number 4, Peyton Pritchard hits a half-court
This
shot.
free throw, 4 for the rebound. Here's
buzzer.
Pritchard, he loves these.
Money.
Puts it up half court of the buzzer. Bang! Pritchard at the buzzer with a three-pointer. He's done it again.
In the Brewer closer.
Number 3, Sal Frelick.
Now on 1-2 to
walk-off
Ward.
home run robbery.
Fly ball
Go
out toward
Crew.
right center field. It's pretty deep. Back for it. Frelick at the wall. He leaps up and he made the catch. He caught it at the top of the wall. Sal Frelick robbed what would have been a game-tying home run. Unbelievable.
Number 2, Texas Rangers win on a play at the plate. Wow.
And that ball hit hard, out to center. That's a base hit. And Tavares bungles it. Run is in. Pages heads to the plate. Here's a throw. The tag! Got him! And the ball game is over!
It looked like Pages ran right through the stop sign at third base.
First base. So it's going to be Santiago.
Number 1 moment of the week, Blake Perkins throws a laser to get the tying run out and win the game for the Brewers.
Throw to the plate. The catch. The tag. He's out to end the game. Wow. What a game and what a finish to this game.
How about Blake Perkins? My goodness. Can he do any better than he's been doing in center field?
Wow. Call me biased if you want. Call me a homer. I had 2 Brewers plays in the top 3, but in my eyes, those are the most exciting plays of the week. Let me know if you disagree. That Blake Perkins throw is awesome. And then if you see Contreras, if you happen to be watching on YouTube, Contreras, like, he got knocked out, but he still had, he still held the ball up, like, probably barely conscious. He's like, hey, that's game over. But yeah, go Brew Crew. And let's go to the Game 6 pick to end the show here. We got Game 6 in Edmonton between the Oilers and the Florida Panthers. The Oilers are actually favored by 1.5 goals in this. So Vegas does think we're going to Game 7, as does Poker Perry. I do like the Oilers in this game. I don't know if I like them by 1.5 goals. I think if they win, it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be tough. Might even take an overtime for them to do it. So I'll take I'll take Oilers money line. It's -125. The 1.5 goal spread is +190. Slightly better odds, but probably not. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Again, if you're taking your gambling advice from me, you need life advice. But yeah, give me the Oilers. The force is strong with this one. Not just Connor McDavid, but obviously the beautiful bodacious babes in Alberta. But yeah, give me the Oilers in Game 6, and give me the Oilers in Game 7, even though I'm going against the wise advice of Poker Perry.